Let's go live. All right.
Okay. Live.
Okay, and we are. We are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week of the Multiverse. I am Bad Ty Briggs here with my co-host Holly Noon. Holly, what's going on?
Hey, I'm excited. It's almost Christmas, and we both have our amazing
Yes.
ugly sweaters.
Yes.
Yours isn't ugly. I like yours.
Mine is ugly. Look here. We'll show everybody. Mine's ugly. We got the twas the nizzle before Chris Mizzle, and all through the nizzle or the hizzle. I think it's hizzle. Okay, it's hizzle. But we got to bring my man Snoop through. You know what I'm saying? But look, we got a great show this week. We got some guests and everything like that. So before we get into all of that, we got to pay some bills. Y'all know what it is.
It's yours. Whose world is this? It's mine. Whose world is this?
I don't think he was ready.
You like it.
I don't think he was ready. We caught him mid getting fly.
Damn, I thought I need to be here for the feds, man.
Hey man, the Black Santa pulling up to the
you terrible at
multiverse.
this, man. Like you're supposed to kind of keep me hidden behind a veil. Like you're supposed to have a fake beard and everything. Like you messing me all up. This is how you do it.
Look, man, listen, it's Christmas, man. We got to get into that Christmas spirit, playing jokes and all of that, the stuff that we love to do on Christmas. But look, for everybody out there, we are joined by none other than the neighborhood finance guy, our homie Lawrence. What's going on, man? How are you doing with the reindeer ugly sweater?
Hey,
I think
I
I
had
think
to
you.
go in the back of the entire closet for you guys. I almost risked, arm and limb, breaking my back. I'm getting old, man. I can't do this.
Oh man, see, look, man.
But still, I'm enjoying my life, man. It's nice and it's like 20 degrees, so it's kind of crazy.
That's the best part, man. But we appreciate you joining us, man. We got a lot to talk about. We do have some other guests that should be pulling up, but they on Black people time right now. So they may pull up a good 5-10 minutes into the stream, but it's all good. We love them. But this week we're a couple of days, just a few days away from Christmas. A lot on the docket, but let's just jump into it, man. I got a couple of questions, man. This one started off. What is your favorite part of the holiday season? Oh, hold on. Before we get into that question, I was just speaking about those Black people that move on Black people time, and sometimes they just pull up when you're talking about it. ATL, what it do? Yeah.
Coming in real good too, with no spirit, nothing. They're just like, hey, you got me. You want me? You got me.
She like, I'm pulling up with the chapstick, lip gloss popping, with the deal. What's good? How you doing?
I'm good.
Man, it's good to have you back. We got a lot to talk about. I just posed a question to the panel, so since you joining us, we'll pose that question to you first. What is your favorite part of this holiday season, or any holiday season for that matter?
Cremas.
Grandma, grandma.
It's a Haitian version of eggnog. But seriously, just being with my family, friends. Typically, I'm off for the holidays. Me and Miss Holly Noon here, we got a nice black spa day luxury
Yes.
going on
Oh,
Sunday.
Oh,
Yeah.
snap.
Yeah, so it's just being around family. That's really what it is, and just a time to rest and reset. So
Okay. All right. Well, I just got some news from the place y'all are going to get this spa treatment at, and this year they have decided to use little people, elves, to give you these massages and also do nails and everything like that. So that should add to your Christmas holiday spirit and everything like that. And I hope little people's okay, because I know that you can get in trouble for saying all kind of stuff. So I don't know
I
what the
think that's the right
correct.
term. Little
Okay,
people.
little people. All
What?
right,
I don't think that's the right term.
it's not.
They have a whole show that says little people. You know that, right?
Hey, I do not consign on all of this. So
Okay, okay, well, please.
I don't want none of that.
Fill me in, because I never know. I never know. So what is the correct term? What is the correct term that you were
It's
to
little
refer
people.
to? Is it little people?
Yeah.
All right. Well, if it's not, if there's anybody that knows anybody that's little in the chat, Minnie, where are you at? Let me know. Let me know what we call little people. What's the correct terminology for little people? But now, one quick question, ATL. That eggnog that is called, what is it called in Haitian?
Cremas.
Clear, like Christmas,
Oh,
but
Jesus.
like Christmas, but without the is. So it's just the crema.
Kremas.
Okay, cremas.
Cremas.
Okay, so is that an alcoholic beverage?
It has alcohol in it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's
So
rum-based alcohol. It's rum-based. It's kind of like the cotito. That's what I guess the Puerto Rican has.
Yeah.
But
I have a bottle here.
it's
if
a
you
lot
want to
better.
see it.
I said what I said.
Oh, like Lawrence and Roberta are gonna fight.
It's a lot better.
Yeah, it's going down. It's definitely.
I'm sorry. It's a lot better.
Look, and my man is in there pulling up coquito or death. Yeah, you know it.
Hey, coquito is light. It's a little loose. It's not even that thick. Ours is thick. He's gonna get you. He's gonna get you right.
What's up, Lisa? Happy birthday to the little one. Give her our love and everything like that. Hope she's enjoying her birthday. Appreciate you for pulling up. Let's go around the board. Lawrence, what is your favorite part of the holiday season?
Actually, it's a mixed blessing for this holiday because I'm born on December 11th, which is 2 weeks after Thanksgiving. And
Sag love, baby, Sag in the house.
Well, we get nothing. We just get one gift, if at all.
That's it.
You know what they tell you? They're like, when they give it, it's your birthday? It's like, yeah, it's coming up. They're like, we'll get you something on your birthday. Your birthday comes around, like, didn't I just get you something for like whatever? And then when Christmas come up, like it's like, hey, didn't I just get you something for your birthday? You end up with 0. Oh, I do. I appreciate
you're
that
selfish.
everybody else is happy. No, I'm happy that everybody else is happy, but December babies, we get almost no love for it.
It's not about you. It's not about you.
Look at this.
You sounded like a person I was born in the summertime.
I was.
No, she didn't.
They're the worst, dog. They get like 2 or 3 birthdays. They got in between semi birthday, semi whatever. They always getting something. You sounded very spoiled.
I'm just saying. Listen. Imagine your birthday being on Thanksgiving, and people totally forgetting about you, because they're too busy eating and full. And this happens to me randomly. Some years I'm right on Thanksgiving, and that's the worst possible day ever because everybody forgets about my birthday, and it's all about the turkey. And
a tiny violin in the corner, you be in the corner crying a little bit. Nobody cares.
You can't win. One day out of the
You're
year.
like, hey, why he mad? Why he mad?
Exactly. Holly.
Yes.
What is your favorite part of the holiday season?
Oh my gosh, I love buying Christmas presents, but my bank account doesn't. But I love seeing like the surprises on my kid's face or people's face that I do buy gifts for. I feel like I try to be sentimental and give something like brought in value, like thoughtful. So that's my favorite part, just seeing other people be happy.
Well, it looks like we just were joined by another ugly sweater or ugly costume, or it's just ugly.
Yeah, I'm here to rep ugly.
Pajama, man. It's a pajama set. Like,
hey, it's the real Vince Taylor, man. Look what's going on, Mr. Taylor.
Did somebody say ugly? I heard my name.
Hey man. I know what I'm getting you this Christmas. It's gonna be.
It definitely ain't respect, huh?
No, absolutely not. It's probably gonna tick. But don't worry, it won't blow up. but I got you. It's good to have you here, man. I appreciate you pulling up. I posed a question to the panel, so you're right in time. What is your favorite part of the holiday season?
When it's over. I'm not a huge holiday guy. I've learned to hate, and it's so funny in our community. We'll find a reason to distrust every holiday, right? Like we stopped with Columbus Day, we stopped with all of these other days. We're starting to find ways to get out of Juneteenth. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, every Christmas I become Jehovah's Witness, just out of respect for not wanting to get gifts for these kids that don't seem to get them back. You know what I'm saying? And then when they do get them, you check your bank account, you realize you got yourself everything that you got. So I don't know, man. For me personally, as a solstice surrounded pagan holiday, I'm not necessarily thrilled about it, but I don't mind the days off. I'll say that much. You know what I'm saying? That's always, we can always unify on that.
Well, thank you for coming through with such
Repping
a
on
festive.
Nicholas Claus.
Yeah, thank you for coming through with such a festive spirit. I'm sure there are plenty of people out there that you have inspired to keep
Yes,
enjoying the holidays with your comments. Listen, my favorite part of the holiday season is literally watching my kids wake up and open presents. I'm gonna be honest with you, like that. Ever since having children and being able to provide them with Christmases and everything like that, watching the excitement that they garner when they open up a gift that they really wanted, as opposed to the ones that they didn't want and don't care about, because that is very hurtful. By the way, children, you know, when you guys look at a gift and just toss that shit to the side, when you realize it's not at all what you put on Santa's Christmas list. It might have been something you needed, but you know, you can't explain that to a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old.
Disrespect.
Yeah, the levels that they go to.
Something you
Hold
needed.
this set of clothes and just toss it to the side, man.
Oh man, like sometimes they don't even open it all the way. Sometimes they just open it and see what it is and be like, "Oh hell no."
Yo, well, hold up. Let's not act like we don't do the same thing. When we get cards,
was a
we
mistake.
take them to see if they get certificates in there, if it's worth reading. Come on, bro. Like kids learn from us, bro. It's a learned energy. You know what I'm saying?
I'm so surprised whenever I get anything for Christmas. I'm like, this for me?
Right.
Like as an adult, I don't expect anything. So I
Yeah.
get really surprised I get anything.
Oh, that's a terrible space to be in. I always expect shit. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's never been a time that I didn't expect something for Christmas. Never in life. And I hope that I never get to that point of not expecting something for Christmas. I remember one Christmas in particular where I was really bad in school, and my mom kept threatening me and saying that you keep it up, you're not gonna get anything for Christmas. But I just knew she was playing. I was like, oh, there's no way. You're not gonna do that to me. She did it. Christmas came and I pulled up to the tree like I always do, and went to looking around the tree and moving presents out the way and never saw anything for myself. So after that Christmas, I made a pact with myself that I would never allow that to happen to myself again. So what I do is I always buy myself a gift, put it under the tree, mark it for myself. So I'm always gonna get something, and I'm never surprised. So I knock out 2 birds with one stone every Christmas. So just a little suggestion, a little friendly advice.
Oh, well played.
Always expect something, even if it comes from yourself. You know, but you gotta have something under the tree. That's I feel bad for anybody that doesn't have something under the tree. That was the worst Christmas ever. Worst Christmas ever.
She showed you.
But yes, that for me, it's watching the joyful smiles, the anticipation of what they're about to open and everything like that. We're right now in this transition in my household where I don't like to teach my kids about a Santa. I don't think that's being truthful. I think it's taking away the credit for all that we do. And me and my 4-year-old just had a knockdown, drag out argument about who's providing the presents around here. I told him I got him some toys. He told me toys aren't presents. And I said, whoa, what do you mean? He said that the presents are what Santa brings. So no matter what's inside the present, if it's wrapped up in a box or wrapped up in any type of wrapping paper, Santa brought that shit. Like Dad and Mommy had nothing to do with the presents. Now, toys, we buy toys all the time, but presents, that's just not our world. And I was like, wow, you seriously like gonna argue with me? He got offended and just stormed out. So I still don't know where we stand with the whole Santa Claus thing right now. I don't know, man. How about y'all? Do y'all like?
You're not a Haitian parent, bro. You're not a Haitian parent. They would have gotten the belt. The next time, it's a setup, man. You just set it up. That's an easy setup. How you gonna disrespect me in my own house? You had a conversation
That was
about that, and you stormed away.
Oh man,
you allowed them to walk away from you as if they had the power.
Oh man,
you coming back? Like, you taking
We're trying to do things different this generation, okay? You know.
PTSD.
You guys are talking to the kids. I get it. I can't.
I mean, listen, my mom used to hit me with spatulas and belts and all types of stuff too. So I get it. Yeah, but still. No, I tell my kids, go ask Alexa, and they'll go, Alexa, is Santa real? And Alexa's like, I don't know, but someone eats my cookies. That's literally the answer that Alexa gives if kids ask.
Alexa's better than Siri. Siri's like, look, ask your mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, Siri's not playing that. But I do respect the neighborhood finance guy. You know, his the strategy of keeping family and inter-communal trauma on with parenting. We do have to decide what it is that we want to teach our kids. And I am fortunate to have grown up in a household where Jesus brought all our gifts. Damn Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bitty baby came all the way to Bethlehem and brought us gifts because the wise man followed the stars. But I'm fascinated, Ty, with your dilemma because you sound like a household that's unified based on your beliefs, but it don't sound like you all agree on teaching about that, about Jolly Saint Nick. So how do you handle that when y'all have a difference in how you want to bring up your kids? Because ain't none of my kids grow up knowing about Santa just like I didn't. So we be the ones at school spoiling it. Like, Santa ain't real, right? Like, I told my daughter to tell the kids, it's kind of like, yo, look, if they come up trying to talk to you about Santa Claus, you be like, Santa ain't real, right? Like, it had no parts in it. They try to tell you not to wear masks and all this stuff like that, and I gotta sit there and be quiet about Santa Claus with your pussy ass. Come on, please. I tell my daughter for real, like, yo, look, tell them, but like, look, bro, ain't no Santa Claus. Ain't no Santa Claus. I ain't reading about Santa.
I'm in the same situation as Ty though. Like, I told my daughter Santa isn't real, and my 4-year-old believed me, but my 7-year-old didn't, and she was like, "No, Mom, Santa is real." And I was like, "No, he's not." And he was like, "No, Mom, I'm telling you, Santa is real. You don't know what you're talking about." It's like, all right.
Wasn't it you that created the lie anyways? It's like, now she believes the lie you created.
No, I think it's like also we watch show, like the movies and stuff that just also like I can literally tell her, but she's like, no, Mom. Then she be trying to come up with like things from movies like, no, Santa just like ducks in when you're asleep, and it's like a whole spy movie, and so we just don't see Santa when he comes in.
Her imagination is
yeah. I'm just like, okay, let it go.
Oh, y'all ever heard of the superhero Santa, Klaus? Yeah. He's on point, man. I ain't gonna lie. He was whooping behinds in that comic book.
Klaus.
Yeah. Santa comes via the Bifrost from Asgard.
Well, it'd be so if it was something like so Avenger-like. Like, no, Mom. They communicate and they have a command center, and it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, Santa's got a utility belt, and he goes Super Saiyan before the next. Yeah, I love all these forms. Just try telling them. I tell my kids Santa's black, so when they get their Christmas presents on the 26th, they ain't even tripping. Plus, they half off by then too. You know what I'm saying? So that's
this is true. This is
the next day.
This is absolutely true. This is absolutely true. As far as the black Santa, it's so hard nowadays to find a black Santa. To answer your question, Vince, it's tough. When you like, I just told you, I had a conversation with my son when I had him to, when he came and we was around me and we were alone, and I was like, yo, look, that dude that your mom took you and sat on your lap, he didn't buy shit, right? He was like, What are you talking
Excuse
about?
you?
Santa brought all the presents, Dad. I'm like, whoa. Santa didn't bring nothing. That white man that you met, he works part-time, seasonal. Every after Christmas, he probably works at the thrift shop or somewhere. He's not Santa 24/7. But he argued me down. And I have to give credit to my wife. She's been able to convince them. She does the elves, the elves thing, the elf on the shelf.
Oh,
That's
Okay.
where y'all went wrong.
Okay, I never listen. I grew up in a household where I didn't know anything about an elf on the shelf. We didn't do no elf on the shelf. My mother told us about where the gifts came. Like when we did Christmas lists, we knew that we wasn't sending them to Santa. We was putting them in mommy's room on the dresser. You know what I mean? Like we knew where the gifts was coming from. And so I try to do that, but my wife comes from a more traditional background, and so she wants to let them relish their childhood and experience all of the fictitious lies and deceit that comes along with life. So that's where we're at right now. She actually commented. She said Santa brings 2 to 3 very small things, and then your black mama and daddy got all the rest of the gifts that mean the most.
His big ass don't bring nothing.
But look, I Vince, I know you just let us know that in your household, we doing realistic stuff. We doing real world events, real acts. Yo, mama and daddy bust they behind so that y'all can get what you want on Christmas.
I don't think black people did Elf on the Shelf. We didn't have like Elf on the Shelf. We had like Uncle Nard in the yard. Like
Uncle Nard in the yard.
My mom. Hey, yo, mom. Uncle Yard.
Uncle Nard. You in the yard.
Yo, am I the only one? Like we had that uncle that was too drunk to come to whenever he showed up, you was like, "What's going on with Auntie Mary and Uncle?" Like we didn't know who he was because we could never really get all the way into the house. You know, am I the only one that happened to? Like every time drunk uncle, I never really knew who he was. He would show up on Thanksgiving or Christmas, and my Aunt Marie would not let him get past that second door. You know, like the street, there's that one door, the gate door, and like the regular door. And he'd be like, "No," and all I would hear was like, bloop, 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 bloop. And he would always call
not right. He's not right.
That's real. I mean, look. If you grew up in the city, you got a crackhead uncle or a drunk uncle who is going to show up. I don't know how it is, in the country. I don't really got family down in Florida, but when I was in St. Louis, whenever we would have, he always knew the address. Like,
damn, you call us country out in Florida? Like we out here.
Like the entire state is just
like I got basically the houses in Florida.
Breadcrumbs and buttermilk. Like what we got out here?
Whoa, hold on now. We don't make.
We actually have cities down here too, right?
But yeah, man, it was we didn't. I ain't gonna lie, like you pick and choose what parts of your upbringing you enjoyed and which parts you would get rid of. And I actually am thankful that I never grew up knowing or thinking that there was a white man who was doing breaking entries on a nightly basis all across the United States for children, which by today's standards would get him landed in a cell next to R. Kelly. But for right now, it was interesting that I think at the beginning, like you have to fight with the schools because the schools, like from preschool age, and Ty, you'll know this, will teach your kids about Santa. So you got the kids going to school, you're saying there ain't no Santa. They come on being like, "Yes, there is, Daddy." And you're like, "No, I'm trying to tell you." And it just like your son, Ty, my daughter tried the one time, she tried to legally give me her dissertation on why there is a Santa Claus. And I was like, no. I was like, I prove you what.
Oh,
and we'll see how that she definitely did.
This is what I love about Vince Taylor's internet. It always catches him at these moments of his mouth being.
This is why I was late, y'all. So my bad. Black Santa doing my internet. Yeah, I got black spectrum out there.
Out here on the spectrum, like whatever internet.
Getting the Wi-Fi.
Somebody
Black
internet worse
Santa,
than
please
mine.
bring him a Wi-Fi connector box.
That's why Santa Claus hating on me
booster.
right now.
Give him a
Hey, if
booster in
Justin
his
Smollett could believe
stocking.
when he was attacked, everybody could believe in Santa.
My internet needs some milk. So some of that milk from St.
And some
Louis.
cookies.
All right,
You'll get cookies.
I got it. All right.
Nah, man, it is really funny. You know, the dynamic of how people raise their children with the Easter Bunny, the Santa Clauses, and I say that coming from a household where it was the same. I was, you know, Easter, there was an Easter Bunny, and we did all of that, you know what I'm saying, and play, Santa, Christmas came, Santa Claus, and the Thanksgiving came, turkey, and all that. So I get it, but I guess we're in a place now where it's like I want my kids to know reality. I want them to deal in reality and not in fantasy. If you are going to deal in fantasy, then make sure you're dealing in fantasy, that the right kind of fantasy, like comic book fantasy. Like in particular, I mean, you
Nice segue.
You like that segue. Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna teach your kids something, I don't know, Lawrence. I know you feel me.
No,
I know you
Spider-Man
feel me,
is
Lawrence.
real. You can't tell me otherwise.
I know, because I am him.
He's on the set right now. Like this is where we're at. But this is, if you're going to teach your kids about fantastical things, then this would be where you start. Spider-Man No Way Home is out right now. ATL, it's out right now.
Why you gotta call me out?
Because I know you ain't seen it yet.
See,
But
I
you, I know. You ain't seen it.
I watched The Witcher. I finished watching season 2, The Witcher.
Oh, we're gonna get to that. So I'm glad you watched that. But Spider-Man No Way Home, is the biggest movie out right now. It is topping all kind of box office records. It took me a full week before I could actually see it, because every theater that I was gonna go see it at was actually sold out. Literally no seats throughout the week. Typically when I go watch my matinee movies and nobody's in there, they were all packed. There was nowhere I could see it. Even when I
during the week, like before 5.
I did, and I went yesterday. I went yesterday before 5, actually at 4:20. Vince. Yeah. So So I went at 4:20. So I was highly medicated. It was still a very, very packed, jam-packed theater. And may I say, coughing in the United States is no longer allowed. That is no longer allowed in any public space. If you have to cough, don't. Just don't do it. I was in the
wife
theater.
heard me cough the other day, and then she ran into the room like, "Is everything okay?" But you kept distance though. She's like, "Is everything all right?" I'm like, "What you gonna do?"
Whoa. Like,
Is everything fine? I coughed a few times. I need some more water. Like,
yeah, coughs can end relationships right now. You cough too many times in the midst of a date, the date might end pretty rapidly. But I was in the theater, Vince, with a lot of coughers, and not just the coughers. I'm talking about the
Like you're
those coughers.
smoking.
Yeah, and I was like, ooh. So I'm watching the Spider-Man No Way Home movie with a mask on the entire movie.
Is it required? The
No.
mask in the theater.
No, it is. Well, it is required by the sign, but if you live in America, you realize people
Don't follow.
yeah, when they see those, they're like, oh, that's just there for suggestions. That's just a suggestion box. That's not really, they don't mean you have to. They just suggest you wear them. So yeah, I was in there with a whole bunch of people who didn't take that suggestion. So that was a little unnerving, but overall, now we're gonna talk briefly about No Way Home. but we're gonna do it in a way where we're doing it. We're not gonna spoil it. We're not, because two of the people on the panel have yet to.
Lawrence, you didn't watch it yet.
Hey, I didn't watch it yet. I'm watching it Friday. I do not want to have this conversation with y'all. I do not do this.
This was Vince. This was Vince a week ago.
I've been ducking people for a week.
Yeah,
it's not fair.
Yeah. He's made the decision to go see it Friday. So ATL, I hope that you also have the opportunity to see it, because I must say,
It's good.
as a Marvel movie, this one might have taken the cake. This one might go down right now, as it stands, as the best Marvel movie to date.
Better than Endgame?
Like I said, this may go down as the best Marvel movie to date thus far. It's that good.
You're getting me hyped.
You hyping it up, man. Don't hype it up too much.
You're hyping it up a little bit too much.
Don't let them hype
Endgame
you
was
up
good.
First of all, with all due respect to the young lady he's referring to as ATL, Endgame is definitely not the best Marvel movie. It would go to its predecessor, Infinity War.
He's saying it's the best out of all of them. That's what he's saying. He's putting.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, to offer up Endgame as a comparison, as in, like, well, it's better than Endgame.
Okay,
like,
okay. Well,
this
is my comparison.
I realize that. I'm shutting that comparison down.
That?
I'm here to play devil's advocate. Yeah, I got that.
Okay,
I got that.
It's
better than just
a friendly
regular
banter.
Just my comparison.
But I would say that in terms of the reason, there's a different way to rate these movies now, and it has to be done, I believe, in a dichotomous stance. From one end, there's the comic book fan rating, and then from the other end, there's the general moviegoer who doesn't have a sense of all the canon and is not really concerned with all of the Easter eggs and everything else that's dropped. The thing that's marvelous about this movie, shall I say amazing about it, is that it is suitable for all audiences, despite whether or not you have seen every single prequel, everything that leads up to it. So even if you're not a Marvel fan, but you're just an average movie goer and just likes to watch movies, you can sink your teeth into it. You don't have to have a huge depth of knowledge for this movie. However, the more you do know, the better it is. So if you haven't seen every single Spider-Man leading up to this Spider-Man, I would encourage you, spend that $3.99 on Amazon, watch each and every last one. You'll notice that by the time you've watched every one, you've racked up to like the cost of one in-movie cost. So I honestly feel like that's what my daughters and I did. Well, my daughter mainly went ahead and went all the way from Spider-Man 1, Tobey Maguire, all the way up through the Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield, and just replenished our knowledge of it. And it only makes it better because there are references throughout the entire movie to each of those movies. So I think these movies are best when they're watched collectively, but the beauty of it is that you could watch it as a one-off and be just as amazed, if I'm not mistaken.
Cool, because I haven't watched the last one in a while.
Yeah, I think you really hit it on the head right there, Vince. I mean, I couldn't have said it any better. Collectively, you would have a better understanding of what's going on. But you're right. If you haven't seen the other movies and you're just, a moviegoer and you just want to watch a good movie, it gives you everything that a moviegoer would want. It gives you action. It gives you drama. It gives you great acting. It gives you, relationships and how you can relate to a character. So it does give you everything you want as a moviegoer. What was your? You want to say something, Vince?
I wanted to come back 3 steps and apologize for trying to nerd check ATL just now. I realize this is not the setting for it. I came with it kind of hard. I didn't realize it until after the fact. She was like, "Yo, what is this energy? What?" So what I said,
it's strong Marvel comic energy right now. That's all I took it. It's the passion. It's the passion.
Yeah. My bad.
That's all I took it. I didn't take it personal. Okay.
where it
If
came
you have
from
watched
is
it from the very beginning, from every entry, from the cartoon,
You ain't
and
true.
then maybe
Isn't that
you
true?
stand a chance as a layman self, as a regular person going to the movies.
yeah, that part. A regular person, a mogul, as we call them. Look, Ty and I get really, really passionate about these joints.
I
So
see.
whenever I'm in an environment where he's got folks, I assume they all of like mind and of like candor. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't mean to be like I didn't. I was like, yo, you don't know her like that, right? And I was like, yeah, I did just kind of come at, So my apologies, Queen, for coming so hard. But I do want to say that it is definitely worth the watch. I brought my wife. My wife is not the hugest Marvel
He
fan.
just coughed, man. Nobody gonna check him on that.
Hey, look, Lawrence, it's
Right
okay
into the
to
mic.
cough. It's okay to cough if you're in your own space.
Right.
Now, if he's at his.
I don't live this kind of life.
If we were all on the same panel, we would be asking him to leave right now.
I don't live
We'll
this
be
kind
like,
of
can you
dangerous way.
please leave the studio?
This is dangerous.
Yeah. If we were all in the same studio, he'd be out of here.
Everybody acting real calm about it. I got real scared.
I don't know where this podcast has been, bro.
Exactly.
I'm here looking at my
Podcast ain't even
computer screen. Did I
vaccinated.
catch a virus?
You would definitely be out of here.
Podcast right here. Yeah, okay, I'm cool, bro. I'm sorry for that.
But yes,
But I
he's
got
absolutely-
boosters for the low.
But he is correct. He is correct when it from just a regular moviegoer who's just wanting to see a good movie with a good storyline. This gives you everything you want. And a lot of times when we have these long movies, because if you guys notice lately, movies have gotten longer. We used to have movies under 2 hours. Now we're doing a lot of movies that are over 2 hours. This movie didn't feel like it was a long movie. If anything, I probably would have asked for give me another 30 minutes. I would have been cool with another 20 to 30 minutes.
How long was it?
2 hours and 30 minutes. It was 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Less,
I'm serious.
Less.
I mean, that was 2 hours and 32 minutes. Yeah, that was how long it was. But in essence, like it could have been a little longer, and I wouldn't have had any problem with that. I think they did a perfect job. I think that there's nothing I can complain about with this movie. It gave us everything we wanted, everything we needed, and everything we asked for. With that being said, I'm not going to go any deeper and start spoiling, because I mean that is exactly what's coming. There were yeah.
Hopefully your theater is like a hype crowd, because my crowd was really hype. So we was clapping, we was cheering, like at all certain parts. That's all I was saying.
I don't want that. I'm the kind of nerd. I don't want y'all to be all up messing up my vibe. I need
Thank you, Lawrence. Thank you. Shut up.
I want to be
Shut up.
I want people jumping around, praising
Well,
the
it was
Lord.
jumping around, but it was like what happened. Everyone was like hyped for it. So that's what
You was geeked up when Black Panther came back to life, man, and you was in a movie before the folks that was like,
there's time people like, hey man, this was amazing. Like, yeah, I could see that, man. I'm watching the movie right now.
Oh, you're that okay?
I see
that.
Okay.
I interpret that information. You don't have to tell me what I'm watching.
I like mutual shared fanfare. I like it when the audience erupts. I like it.
That's on the second viewing or something. The first viewing, I need to hear everything, because if I'm gonna analyze this, I'm gonna need to know all the dialogue. I'm gonna need to hey, I get back to the internet. If I don't know what happened because somebody was yelling at it, you got Holly out there.
Oh my god!
it was one of those things like, oh, something happened. Everybody was like clapping, like yeah, that's all I'm trying to say. It was.
I'm with Lawrence.
It wasn't surround sound.
I am with Lawrence. I'm with Lawrence all the way. I want you to shut the fuck up. I'm okay with claps and like sighs, but when you start talking and we had a little kid in the audience in the movie theater that I was in, and he commented on every single thing that happened in the movie, and at one point, see, and Vince knows me. I'm I used to not go to movies for that reason because people talk and run their mouth, and I can't stand that. I'm usually home watching movies. I'm like, I'll stay home. I don't feel like the aggravation. And I went against the grain because this is one of those type of movies that you have to go to the movie theater to see. And sure enough, it was the same old same. It was the same. The little boy, when things started happening, he was like, "Oh my God!" And I was like, "It's like, oh,
all right. So I have a confession. I probably got a little overzealous in my movie viewing. I went and saw it with my wife, 2 daughters, and my mom and pop. I brought them as well, and I sat next to my youngest, who I basically have infected her with the Spider-Man fanaticism. Like it's completely ridiculous. We're both head over heels obsessed, and when stuff would happen, we would be like. For me and her, it was like I was trying to like embody the, just love the moment. But I can imagine how annoying it was to like people behind us, like, oh my God, like,
So you one of them.
yeah, like there was a few scenes in Holly. You probably know what I'm talking about. Like,
and my daughter like knew, so she was like, "Oh, I know who that is."
Okay,
Right.
stop it. Okay, stop.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't
stop
know what's
it.
going on.
Stop it. Y'all are going into spoiler zone. Y'all are going into spoiler zone. I'm telling you, I knew it was gonna happen. I knew it was gonna happen. Y'all are going into spoiler zone. I knew who that was. Stop it.
I ain't giving nothing away, but I am gonna say that in the end of the movie, the Titanic does end up getting some.
Let it go, man. Just let it go.
Don't try to
Gonna say
explain
at the
it.
end of the movie, JFK dies. Is all I'm saying. I'm not saying nothing else.
Oh man, yes, and Vince Lawrence is also a Sagittarius like us, so he's
that makes sense.
Yeah, so he's also a part of that community.
Mad nerds.
Yeah. So it makes sense. But no, we're gonna leave Spider-Man No Way Home right here because I don't want to spoil this for y'all because it is a very exciting movie.
I ain't gonna say nothing, but somebody gets bit by a radioactive spider. I ain't gonna say who it is.
Anyway, but I do hope that both of y'all can go see it soon. And yeah,
I just remember
I can't wait to hear.
I will definitely go watch it.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear what you guys' reaction is going to be. But also during this holiday season, that is not the only thing that has everybody talking. There is another show that has everybody talking and has had everybody talking since its debut, and that would be none other than our Christmas special Hawkeye edition that has been showing up on Disney Plus. Yesterday or today. Today was the season finale. There was a lot to that was revealed on this episode. Now ATL and Lawrence, have you guys been able to catch the Hawkeye or follow the Hawkeye series?
I've been following the Hawkeye season. I did not see the last episode today. I had to do some work, and I had to decide between this podcast or actually watching it. So that's the only reason. I actually have a life, guys. I actually have to wake up and do real work.
I see. Listen, I'm not mad at you.
This is like, hey, I was up at 5 a.m. to do this. I was there.
Like I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I do, but this time I actually didn't. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't think it was so far. It hasn't been a great season for me. It's been an hour.
What the fuck was that?
Like, hey, call it what it is. Like, let's be real. It wasn't as good as the other series that dropped. There's little whatever Easter eggs you're gonna drop in there, but it's not gonna make the entire show. Like that's not gonna be what it is. It's a little bit slow. I think it could be a better show if you trimmed it down like 3 episodes. You have a fire series.
Did you say trim it down 3 episodes? It's only 6 episodes episodes,
Trim
Lawrence.
that sucker.
Like,
The first
what the,
like two
each
and a half,
episode got to
like
be
it's a
2
trim.
hours?
Like
We need 2-hour
episode
episodes?
2 and 3, trim. Do you remember what happened in episode 2 and 3? Let's be real.
Of course, yes. We met Echo. We met the swordsman. We were introduced to the concept of there being a villain that was not the kingpin, who ended up being I don't want give it all
Oh
away.
yeah, see, yeah.
But yeah, from a deep comic book level, we also were given our new Hawkeye, which is Kate Bishop, as we now know. So yeah, this was what I would call a baton passing series, in which, kind of like we did with WandaVision and with Hawkeye, with Falcon and Winter Soldier, we're using the whole series to turn the tide of one Avenger to another. So in Hawkeye, in the Falcon and Winter Soldier, we went from Captain America being Steve Rogers to it being to being the Falcon, Sam Wilson. Now we're going from Hawkeye, who clearly is not going to be the Avenger in the upcoming Avengers, now being transferred to. I mean, you got to watch the last episode to see it. But yeah, I mean, we're busy. I'm my geek runs deep, so I'll find time.
But let me ask you a question, Mr. Geek. Can I cross-examine the witness? So, how would you rank all three? And like the ones you just mentioned, how would you rank them?
I'm not gonna disagree with you in that Hawkeye doesn't rise to the level of Loki or rise to the level of even Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm not gonna disagree with you on that. I think that it can be done in three episodes. No, and I also think that the second episode, I think one of the main things, again, this I think is that merging of the average TV watcher and the comic book fan. When we were already discussing the concept of Echo, like we met in this series, bro, a hero who is deaf and is an amputee that is going to be the leader of their own series, which we thought was pretty remarkable. We also met another potential Avenger in the Swordsman, and we also got to see how the Ronin character was developed during the blip. So there's a lot of substantial like background information that's being unveiled in this series. And if you're a fan of this stuff, is a little more significant. But if you are the average watcher, you're just like, yo, well, she just punched him in the mouth already, and how come she don't know this, and how come he don't know that? And, you know what I'm saying? So I can understand why, for some it's not as dope. You know what I mean? But
Well, you said you haven't seen this episode, but you did see the last episode. So you saw episode 5, right?
Yeah, I did. I saw episode 5. I know what happens in all of it, and still, I think it could be done better. And not to say that I hate it. Like, obviously, we're Marvel fans. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna ingest it. We're gonna dissect it, and it's gonna be good towards the entirety of the story, right? I don't think they're doing a complete disservice, but I think as far as a narrative, it was slow. That's why I mean you could trim like some of the episodes. Maybe you do add more episodes, but you could trim some of the fat off of it, and it could really be a better show for it.
Well, I'll say this, Lawrence. I think they did exactly what the plan was. The plan was to basically occupy time until the drop of Spider-Man. And that's exactly what they did. They did. They occupied just enough time for it to roll out right when it was supposed to roll out. And I won't agree with you that it could be better. I think what they were trying to accomplish was to make us actually care about the character of Hawkeye. And I think if anything, they succeeded in making us care about that character, because prior to this series, we didn't care about Hawkeye. We didn't. I mean, I'm just
Black Panther didn't care, but I care.
Nobody cares.
Black Panther, I don't care, bro.
I do not care. Love it.
So this is where we're at, where we're coming from a place where the blip has happened. What we have left is what we're working with. And so Clint was left. He's one of the individuals that was left. He's one of the what we would have considered to be non-essential members but now, after watching this series, after seeing the dynamic, the relationship between him and Natasha, and his family and just all of the things that he does as far as like you know, the things that we didn't know that he did as far as like the putting the arrows together, the you know, the all of the stuff that comes into making those arrows, the trick arrows and all of this stuff, and and knowing that he's not just a bowman, he's a weapon in itself, so he doesn't need a bow to be functional. He, you know, he can whoop your ass with them hands. He got them hands too. So that part for us to see all of that on screen and watch that in the 6 episodes was enough to create a little bit of a buzz for Kate, because that was what Vince was alluding to, is this was a rollout. This was a red carpet rollout for the new Avenger, our new Hawkeye, which is Kate Bishop. So in essence, I think they did a really good job of doing that. I don't think it should have been any longer than it was, actually, after seeing what I saw. I think that it was precisely what it needed to be. And it opens the door for the next phase of shows to come out. You know, we're still waiting on Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. We're still waiting on Morbius. We got a lot of stuff. We got Moon Knight coming. We got She-Hulk. We got all of these different shows that are, that Miss Marvel. We got the Marvels. We got all of this stuff that's rolling out. And I think, as you know, the way that Marvel has done it systematically has been, oh my God,
bar none.
Genius.
I think they dropped that whole trailer for the multiverse because they knew that I think this show didn't land the way they wanted to land. I think they know it. Like Marvel knows this. Like it could have been a better show. Man, what is Ty looking at?
I think he hears the echo.
Nah, yeah.
Well, I'll say this.
Keep going, man. Don't worry about that.
No, so basically that's what I'm saying. I think they know that it didn't land the way it tonally could land, and I'm just looking at it just like a storytelling perspective. Like it could have been tighter, it could have been done a little bit better. I love the idea of Hawkeye. I actually loved him from jump, like the entire way through. But I think that's what was missing, the tonal effect of it. Like you just get a little tighter, get a little bit more concise, and you can still have the same elements in there, and even a little bit more. Yeah, looking at the spammers.
Yeah. We ain't worried about them. We got them rid of them, so we good.
I think that another one of the objectives.
I was a
of the
DC
show,
fan, man. I'm just letting y'all know that I was a DC fan. DC fan mad right now. Look, it's not us.
I don't know what it was, but I'm glad it's gone. One of the other objectives I think that it did successfully accomplish, and I will say at the outset that the finale is not a phenomenal finale. I'm just gonna say that. But I think that what it did do that other shows didn't was it merged the Netflix Marvel shows with the DC Marvel shows, which we can now, start to integrate what we had on Netflix, which we all, most of us Marvel fans didn't want to see, other than Iron Fist go away. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, episode 5 gave us our true villain, and I can't say how much I love Vincent D'Onofrio as an actor, and him playing the Kingpin. After seeing him on screen as the Kingpin, I don't think I could see anybody else playing the Kingpin at this point. He embodies the Kingpin in a way that a lot of these characters didn't necessarily embody immediately coming out. Like you had to grow to kind of like their characters or grow to kind of, love their characters. With Vincent D'Onofrio from day one, so when we saw him on Daredevil, like it was like, oh, that was a perfect. I think when I saw it, I was like, that is the perfect cast.
If
like,
I may,
nobody. What's that?
I think that whole entire Daredevil series had everybody perfectly. Cast. I think Charlie Cox, and not to spoil it, But you may see more of him in the future. Perfectly cast. All right. Even down to Foggy. I like even the new recasting of Elektra when it was formerly Jennifer Garner. If we can try to erase that from our memory, I liked. I think that the Netflix shows perfectly cast almost everybody except for Iron Fist. But Iron Fist again, Danny Rand, is the puss ass character to begin with. You know what I'm saying? He's another white vigilante with too much money and too much time on his hands. So I fucks with all of the
Tell us
Marvel.
how you really feel.
You
came for Batman too, like everybody.
I thought we was keeping it
I
real.
started drinking his drink. He's like, my
Are we
God.
keeping real here? Are we
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is.
This is why you don't like Santa Claus. It's full circle now.
Fuck Santa. Who the fuck is Santa? If you mix up the letters with Santa,
you don't like the guy. He's entitled white guy.
Come on, man. Well, that's my point, though. It's just that I think that Wilson Fisk is amongst the many that were casted very well. It just so happens that his character is so grand that he has to stick with you, and he makes a perfect centroplex for all of these other shows. You know what I'm saying? Whereas before it was like Rosario Dawson and that chick that played Missy. You know, now we can have that center nucleus is Wilson Fisk. I done went way too geeky. I'm sorry, man. I done derailed the show.
No, I like it. I like where it's going. Like you, I love the Netflix shows, minus the flub of Iron Fist every once in a while. But I watch every last episode, so I can't even be mad at myself. I watch everything.
Word.
Even the words, I'm like, I'm watching that. Hit Monkey was on point. Nobody really watched it, but it's okay.
No, we watched it. No, we watched it. We watched it.
But it was hilarious and fun to watch.
It was dope.
Yeah. It was. I thought it was a great. I think it's a great show that nobody really not enough people talk about.
Absolutely.
And so maybe one day we'll really tap into it.
And that's the genius of Marvel, to make us love a character that we never gave a fuck about to begin with.
Never even knew about. Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely Marvel all day, every day. Moving forward, probably at this point, DC is trying to catch up, but when you are as in a deep as a whole as DC is, it's gonna be tough to pull yourself out, man.
You know what? I wish we had more time. Because
I can't trust DC at all in my life, man. Like every time they throw out a movie, I do the
Yeah.
I don't care. I know what your trailer is gonna look like. It's gonna look fire, but I'm gonna walk into the movie. It's gonna be trash. Did you see Birds of Prey? That thing was trash.
Oh yeah. Birds of Prey could have been on CW. But I do think that DC has been consistently good at Batman movies, and this upcoming one looks like it's going to be good. Despite what you feel about Edward from Twilight being in the movie, this upcoming joint looks like it's going to be Dark Knight levels of fame.
That's how they got you last time, man. Just remember that. That's how they always get you.
But of the Christopher Nolan series, they were all good. I mean, the last one, The Dark Knight Rises, it fell because of Heath Ledger's, unfortunate, you can't get better than that. But I thought that the Dark Knight trilogy was actually worth. I mean, if you notice, they don't claim DC. Like, if you look at the opening credits.
I actually argued that with my buddies, man, that it actually wasn't that great of a trilogy. There was great acting in that trilogy, yes, but it wasn't really about Batman. Everybody else stood out. Like Batman wasn't really doing anything. He wasn't being a detective. He wasn't being a standout character. It was a supporting cast that actually carried the movie. Remember those movies. I want you to go watch them. Remember those movies.
I remember.
What they are. You remember Heath Ledger, but you didn't remember anything.
Oh no, I remember Batman showing up in the room to interrogate the Joker, and him like laughing all the way through, basically being blown up. I remember him training with the man. We have lost ATL. I'm sorry.
COVID, man. Just like I know, he was coughing it up really weird.
He was like, "What time is this thing over?" Like,
what are we talking about?
COVID. Batman was COVID.
I thought he was in the show. What the fuck is this Batman bullshit? You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. I ain't even mad. Who is this nigga talking about? Who is this nigga? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry, man.
No, I was
you got deep on the nerd stuff right now, man. That's very weird.
You know,
Yo,
We had a whole side
It's
conversation
over, like-
going on over here.
yeah. We get into
Oh, my
our
bad.
geek,
Yeah,
our
yeah,
geek, our geekdom. We get into our geekdom.
No, we
My
figured
bad.
he was just like, ATL.
Yeah, like Atlanta in the corner. Like, I have
She was
nothing to
like-
say
she
with
was
my
like-
my
She was over
cat
here like-
purring.
She was like, when we gonna talk about
What
Issa
kind of
Rae?
Out here, the cat like, yes.
My bad, yo. I'm so sorry.
Nah, it's all good, man. It's all good.
Y'all crazy.
Listen. This is a really good show. You know, and I think, you know, if you
Batman?
haven't seen.
Just kidding.
Well, I mean, Batman is to be determined. It's still to be determined. I listen. This is coming from somebody who was
He's a
and
DC guy.
I say was because just until recently, I've denounced all affiliations with DC. I've denounced. See, I was a huge DC voice and supporter, and they just kept shitting on me to the point of, you know, I felt like one of those girlfriends or boyfriends that have held on to a relationship too long.
I wouldn't give up.
And,
I wouldn't give
Pure
up.
abuse,
Yeah.
man.
I
Getting
wouldn't give up.
abused. You're like, they're gonna do better. They're gonna do better.
Yeah. I could change him. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I feel. That's how I feel. But it's you know, you gotta, you know, sometimes, yeah, you just gotta let go. But on the flip side of that, Netflix has been killing the game, putting out a lot of shows that we have been really excited about after seeing. One of the new shows that we already had kind of built a level of excitement from the season one is The Witcher. The Witcher dropped December 17th and is now playing on Netflix for your viewing pleasure. Everybody here has seen The Witcher, right? Okay, cool.
Seen
Good,
all of it,
good.
you know, and I'm
All right,
gonna
well,
say it straight up. They had an ass shot of the guy, so that's progression right there in society. They got the ass shot for the ladies.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Like,
None-
that's typically like the women used to stand behind in the ass shot, but now they got him doing the ass shot.
All right, and they got the Arsenio Hall pump from ATL. She was like, whoa. Butt cheeks. Booty butt cheeks. Booty. They had titties
ATL,
too.
how do you rate those butt cheeks? Did they do it for you?
They did wonderful for me, actually. It was great. It was great. I rewinded, I zoomed in, I zoomed out. It was great.
Zoomed in, zoomed out.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Tune in next week where we're rating more butt cheeks.
More butt cheeks, man. As long as there's butt cheeks on the
Diversity,
roster,
man. It's all about diversity, man.
How did you rate the butt cheeks,
So,
Ty?
I don't rate butt cheeks, sir.
Took you a while to come back.
Yeah. I felt that trick question in there, so I had to take a moment to come back with a witty answer. But listen, ATL. Besides the butt cheeks, how do you rate the overall shows thus far?
Season 2 was much better than season 1. I personally feel. In terms of the characters, I think it was more character development and how they kind of bridge everything together. Now, it was a little bit of slow start out for me because I had actually went back to season 1 to refresh my memory. But for the most part, how it all came together, it was great. I really liked it a lot. And plus, you know, I'm a huge fan of Henry Cavill, so he's great eye candy.
That's from the back, I guess.
Okay. Well, there were definitely visible butt cheeks in season 1. So, I mean, as opposed to season 2. But Holly, I know you saw The Witcher.
The Witcher.
Yeah, The Witcher. What did you think? What did you think about it? So thus far.
No, so I had never seen season 1 until this past weekend. So I had to watch all of season 1 and then I watched all of season 2. So we're like 3 days. Great. with The Witcher.
Okay.
No, I really liked it. I think it's a good series. I like where it's going. I like the character. My favorite character is Jennifer. I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like she's. I don't know. We're like twin. I don't know. If I were to be her in that in that world, I would be a mage, and I want to be like that has like access to that like chaos type of fire magic.
So you want to be Yennefer?
Yeah.
So you want to be Yennefer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, Yennefer.
Yeah.
All right.
So, but anyways, I like it, and I recommend
Lawrence,
it. I like it, and I recommend it.
I also want to be Yennefer.
What do you think about the series? Okay, well.
Nah, that's a lie. I think she wants to be Yennefer because it's with Henry Cavill out here. All the ladies like, yeah, that's all the way you smile. That's all. When he asks you a question, you're like, like, ask me some more about The Witcher. That's how you look the entire time. That's how you look the entire time.
Vince, what about you? How'd you feel about the Witcher?
Oh man, his ass is phenomenal. Did you see his butt? The best part is when he went down to the creek and he dipped his butt in the water, and the water was glistening all over his ball. Now let me stop. All over his ball.
He came up out the water, hair was slinging like he had that Indian in his bed.
He used to wear them tight red shorts. He used to ride all up in your head. Let me stop. I'm a huge fan of fantasy. You get an elf and a dwarf involved. You mix in a wizard and a couple witches and monsters, and I'm there. I do disagree with ATL. I think that this one was much less to be desired from season one. Season one, I think there was a lot more mystery, a lot more enchantment, a lot more what's going to happen. This one felt kind of like baby training day with The Witcher. There's a theme going on right now. You got Hawkeye and you got Kate Bishop. Now you got The Witcher and you've got Ciri. And there's this whole this masculine mansplaining, this thing going on where these young girls are being trained up by these older men. That's a little creepy, but I'm here for it. But I don't think that this season was meant to be as big as the first one. I think that it was just kind of like the Hawkeye series, which in an effect was kind of like Black Widow Part 2 to an extent, if you really think about it. Is another one that they're passing the baton. So I think we'll see a lot more Ciri and Yennefer. I mean, because who wants to, we've all seen it, so spoilers are welcome, right, Ty? Who wants to see a whole season where Yennefer is impotent? You know what I'm saying? Like Yennefer, we were built up the whole season one, or her being like the biggest, dopest, baddest mage, and here like she can't even get it up.
That's why I love it. That's why I love it. When I say character development, it was on both, right? The Witcher and Yennefer. So Yennefer had to go from being this powerful mage to not having any powers at all, and then you had the Witcher who declined, did not want to claim this child. Now he's playing a father figure, right? So that's the reason I personally like. I mean, the first season was great, but I think the second season really seasoned the characters to really know truly who they are at the core. Because he didn't want to be a father figure, but the position he was in is kind of just force him and push him to be the person that he truly is, a father figure, a leader. And Yennefer is actually realizing that she is actually more powerful without her powers in a matter of she was fully capable of doing all those things she wanted to do without her powers. And that's what she realized in the season. And her purpose is much bigger than what she has thought before. Now you have Ciri, and then now she's back with The Witcher. She's redefining who she is as a woman, as a mage, as an elf, like all these other labels. That's why I really like this season. Sometimes you don't always need that push, that punch all the time.
In with the whole,
she's reading her notes. I'm with it.
Great point.
I'm just saying.
Great point.
You shut me up.
I think that was a fair assessment and a great point. season 2 is clearly more of a dramatized version of season 1. Season 1 was more action packed.
Yeah.
It was more like
Yes.
let's get into it. It was like let's get you into it. And once they
Right.
got you into it, we got you sucked in. Now we can slow down. We can unfold the story. We can tell you what's going on and everything like that. Um, I know that you're a gamer, Vince, and we've both played The Witcher before.
Yes.
I read an
I'm still playing with
article.
it.
I read an article recently that an interview with Henry Cavill, and he was saying how he wants the directors to um, follow the storylines that are already in place
Yeah.
through the Witcher book, because you know this is a book series. So
Yeah,
he
yeah,
wants
yeah.
them to follow the book to a T. He almost wants them to follow it to a T, and that's one of his biggest concerns with staying on.
Yeah.
To continue to do the Witcher series is that they stay on to the books. Now, I have never read the Witcher book. I played
Right.
the game. It does resemble like the resemblance of how they have Henry Cavill looking is almost identical to the way that he looks on the game. And
Yeah.
so that part for me is right on par with where you want to be. But yes, ATL, you made a great point. This sometimes you do have to slow it down to kind of roll out the story, get people involved more with the characters so that it's harder for you to just turn away from the screen. You know, once you invested in the character, once you have built that relationship, you're gonna tune in no matter
Right.
what. So I think that's smart on the director's part
And it's
again,
Henry
very good,
Cavill, man.
very
Like,
good
how can you
assessment.
not watch the show?
Well,
And
well,
it is
I can,
fine.
yeah, I have no problem.
You can admit that, Ty. You can still be a heterosexual
Yeah,
man.
you know,
and
He's a
call another
beautiful
man
man.
attractive.
He's an attractive man.
It's fine, bro. It's
There's
fine.
nothing wrong
You know,
with
you ain't
that.
gotta be
He's
like,
very
oh,
attractive.
hell yeah, I'd hit that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta like, it ain't always gotta be, you know what I'm saying? Like we can admit if another man's attractive without feeling, black men got to get out of this whole thing about like, oh
Thank you.
shit. No, I mean, the nigga, I don't want him around my wife or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all right. There are attractive males. There's attractive people. I will say this though. I think that there was a missed opportunity in this season for there to introduce to be more to give us more of some of the lesser known characters. I noticed that they gave the black elf dude another role in this series. And he even went from an afro to cornrows. So I wonder who the hell it is out there doing their hair.
How you do that
in Midgard.
overnight?
Yeah.
Like, there's an elf named Keisha out there. Like, yeah, I got you at 3 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? But you may not
Overnight,
you know what I'm
bro.
saying?
Like, I'm gonna give you the cornrow.
But I mean, that's the only one of the few things, other than the fact that it did dial down the action, which I'm more of a fan of. I'm gonna keep it real, and they did dial down on the Witcher's ruthlessness. He became more soft this instance because of his fatherhood role. But they missed opportunities that I think they could have had to develop. I noticed that they did get a little more into the the young black girl's role as a Nilfgaardian, whatever her role. I think she was a general. I can't remember exactly what her role was. So I like the fact they engaged. I like the fact that we learned that the member of the table was her uncle, and that there are people of color at the table. I wish that they would go a little further into those stories too, because I ain't gonna lie, The Witcher is hella white. It's like Aryan white. You know what
When
I'm
I
saying?
say black, I'm like black person. Black person.
Right. Like, oh
They
shit,
did
you
a
know
great
what I'm
job in
saying?
the show.
Hey,
The entirety of the show, yeah. The entirety of the show, they did an amazing job with the way the casting, especially that lady. Like anytime she spoke, sometimes it was like her body language itself was acting.
Yeah.
You're like, damn, chick, like
She's
calm
ruthless
down.
too. She's
It was
very
on
ruthless.
point. Like it was like her chest would be like, damn, you flexing on people now. Relax. You're really mad right now. So there's a lot of great acting. I think you're right, Vince. When your first comment about it, it's like they made it more palatable, like you're talking about for just the general audience. Because the first season itself was compressed. There was like a almost like we're going to back in the day now or the future. Like it was too much going on in that scenario. So they kind of streamlined it a lot better. They had people running concurrently, and they actually fixed the issue that Game of Thrones had by having people just teleport. like, hey, we're gonna teleport to this other area. So that solved all those problems. So there was a lot of things that they did, and you're right, they could kind of stay in there a little bit more, but they dropped in The Witcher, like the cartoon, that was dope. they dropping like the prequel to the Witcher series, like that other one coming out too. They're like,
the other one is
we're
coming out.
making money. Like we're gonna be making money. That's it.
What's her name? The Asian woman. She was in the other. Was it DC film or a Marvel film?
Yeah, Many Yo or something.
What, Michelle Yeoh?
Yeah,
Michelle Yeoh.
she's an older
Yeoh.
woman, older Asian actress.
Yeah, that's Michelle Yeoh. She's
from
playing the
Crouching
lead.
Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah, she's
She
gonna
was
be in
Star
the
Trek
prequel.
Yeah.
Well, you know who else is the big headliner for the prequel?
The big headliner
Is Jason Momoa.
Oh yeah, we didn't see him. Yeah, I was expecting to
Can you
see him
zoom
this
in on it?
season.
Can you rewind? And see,
I needed to
he is
see him.
filled with white chocolate guilt right now. Like, did you see how big her eyes went all the way through the screen just now when we said Jason Momoa? Yo, do we have a towel for her screen? Like, it's a little, it just got real moist on the camera. Yeah, the Witcher prequel is set to, and this is speculation. Excuse me, I took my medicine earlier. Speculated that Jason Momoa has been cast as
Once Jason Momoa was stated, everybody got messed up.
Now Jason Momoa is not just any old Witcher. He's not just any old Witcher. He is the original Witcher. So this is going all the way back to the origin, not just of Witcher of Geralt, but of Witchers as they exist. Period. So that could be because Jason Momoa, this is what he was born to do: play some big guy who doesn't have a lot of speaking parts in the woods with no shirt on. That is what he was designed.
But that's all his roles. So.
Exactly.
He doesn't need to speak. Just
exactly. I mean, he made listen in Game of Thrones. All he said was "turn around, R." You know what I'm saying? Like all his words. That's all you gotta say.
And I fell in love with him. I'm like, yes, I want him.
And we was like, we want more Jason Momoa, bro. Like he was phenomenal. It's like, yo, all he literally said was you know what I'm saying? And we love it. So this is exactly what he literally will be playing the role of his role in C, except for with his sight and as a Witcher. And honestly, there's nobody better suited. Like these two people from the Justice League are going to revive, are going to keep this Witcher franchise afloat. And after that, all I need is a Black Witcher, and then I'm good to go.
That would be dope.
I was talking to Vince. Vince about this. The unfortunate problem with this rollout of when they decided to roll out is they decided to roll out right when Spider-Man rolled out. So right now, Spider-Man is taking a lot away from the level of appreciation that people could show for The Witcher right now, because Spider-Man is the talk of the town. If there were no Spider-Man movie right now, The Witcher would be getting a lot more feedback from people. But
it's still the top 10, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, but that's
Netflix.
just top. Yeah, that's top 10 watch on it. That list doesn't really equate to anything. It just shows that people are watching it on Netflix. But what I mean is, like, as far as like the critics and everything like that, like the critic rollout for this particular show, the critics are so preoccupied with Spider-Man that anything that's coming out around or near this time, I mean, Matrix dropped today.
I understand, but I feel like you're comparing apple to oranges right now, because with The Witcher, we only have season 1, like something that's brand new but not brand new, right? But with Spider-Man, you have this entire franchise. Like Vincent just clearly stated, like you have to watch it collectively to kind of get back the history of what's going on now that you'll watch the current one. But The Witcher, this is something new, and then it's far apart in between. So the timing that people actually, number one, want to be out and go to the theater and watch something that they're getting anticipated of. But then with The Witcher, it's something that they always can come back to. So I don't think it's something like, the anticipation for it is as big as The Witcher. It's just like, this is Spider-Man of the Marvels. This is Witcher, which we know we're going to come back to whenever we will. That's how I look at it.
No, you're right. You're right in essence with that. What I mean is, though, that typically when the Witcher dropped on Netflix in season 1, people had no expectations, and so it wasn't as anticipated because there wasn't no expectations. But because it was so good, we've been see the like people like me and Vince and all the comic book world and all of the people that are in like joint like love those type of movies and everything. We've been talking about this rollout for The Witcher for a while now. Like it's like, oh, The Witcher's coming. The Witcher season 2 coming. Yeah. So there's been a level of excitement that has been like built up. But the problem was that Spider-Man dropped on the same fucking day as The Witcher. So even though we were super excited, it was like, oh shit, Spider-Man. It's like, so it's almost like you have this girl you really like, and then you have this girl that you always wanted to date, and then you get that date that even though you like this girl, the one that you always wanted gives you that one opportunity on that one day that you were supposed to go out on a date with the girl you really like, and you're like, oh shit, this is a once in a lifetime thing. Gotta go with her, even though I really like her.
I don't. Yeah, let
is
me,
it
let
once
me,
in a lifetime?
Bro, you missing out. This is like a side chick, man.
flawed.
Like The Witcher is the side chick. You got your main chick, you got the side chick. She's always around.
I'm just saying.
Hey, the side
I
chick
have an
is
analogy.
there.
He's there.
I think this analogy works better. Like, say you love steak, but you also love oxtail, right? But this restaurant is now serving them both as a special on the same day. But it's a special. That today the McRib comes out. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, well, fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really wanted this oxtail too. Be like, you know what? McRib today. The oxtail's still good. I'm just not gonna have it today. And Ty is saying, if there was no McRib coming out today, we'd all be sitting there talking about this oxtail. Like, yo, this oxtail is dope.
But you're still eating both though.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to say to Ty. Like, Ty's acting like we only eat once a day. You know what I'm saying?
I think what he's saying, but I also disagree with him too. Like, yo, man, like I could watch both and I'll still be happy as hell. Like nerds right now, but he ain't mad. There's he's right. There's Matrix. There's the Spider-Man.
The Matrix. Holly.
Next week we got like Star Wars. Like, come on, man. I'm just living the dream.
I'm trying to catch up to y'all. Like, I don't know what's out half of the time.
But Ty is right though. He is right in that we would be talking a lot more about The Witcher if Spider-Man didn't come out. So that is true. But these folks ain't finna sit here and wait until there's a clear weekend. I ain't gonna lie. If I was the Witcher, the producers, I might have been like, well, maybe let's not drop it on the same exact day. That's Spider-Man. Maybe let's wait a week. Maybe let's do a Christmas Eve. You know what I'm saying? Like, December 17th is not a day I'm trying to compete with nobody.
I think actually Spider-Man kind of shifted. I think that's what happened because I think they already had their schedule. Like Netflix already has like rollout all the time. But I think Spider-Man was the only thing that's like, should we come out now or should we come out like more closer to December 25th? At one point it was like a little bit later. I don't remember exactly.
Spider-Man was supposed to come out in May. Spider-Man was supposed to come out earlier this year, but because of the pandemic and all the movies being shifted back, it landed back here around Christmas. So 100% right.
Shang-Chi changed the landscape of how they were going to roll out. The success of Shang-Chi determined the earlier rollout of Eternals. It also determined the earlier rollout of Spider-Man. And so that's kind of why it is. That's exactly what happened. Like we didn't have a date of December 17th prior to Shang-Chi. We didn't have a date for Eternals prior to
I think that to give Shang-Chi all the credit is to discredit the fact that remember they just shot Hawkeye, you know what I'm saying, in December of last year. You know what I'm saying? like last fall. They still had Black Widow, as you stated multiple times, on the mound waiting to come up to the bat for like a year. It got pushed back for like a year. So there's multiple projects, not just Eternals that caused it to get pushed back. The whole entire shit got fucked up, man, because of freaking COVID-19 and shit, man. Or
but I think what he's saying, like Shang-Chi, when it came out, when it came out itself, like everybody a little bit more people went to go see it, but at the same time, the whole COVID started. Everybody started being like, "Oh, we're gonna be fine." That's why everybody's like, "Oh shoot, get this thing back out again. Let's get him out. Let's get him out." Every movie before Shang-Chi was not making any money.
No.
That was the biggest problem. That's why they dropped Black Widow. They're like, it didn't come out right.
Yeah, they did that half stream. Half,
I think they would have still
half
did it,
movie
whether or
theater.
not Shang-Chi was successful or not. I think that they were betting that Spider-Man was going to be the biggest movie, and even if Shang-Chi had flopped, they still would have did it this way.
Well, they were. Well, if it had flopped, it would have been released around the time that Lawrence was referring to, the date that they had originally said it was going to roll out, which was in later December, which was like November, December 25th or day after Christmas or something like that. But once Shang-Chi, once they saw that people would actually go out to the movies, would actually pay the box office and get those numbers up, then they realized that, okay, we have a window of opportunity. Let's go ahead and milk it for as much as we can milk it. So what did they do? They moved up the date for Eternals to November when that was supposed to drop in December. And you know what I'm saying? And then moved Spider-Man to December 17th. Yeah, that's what happened.
What, yo, y'all are saying these movies were supposed to come out later? They're supposed to come out sooner, right?
No,
Am I tripping?
No, originally they were supposed to come out sooner, but then COVID hit and everything got pushed back to the point where there was no schedule. But then when Shang-Chi did as good as it did, every movie theater, not just Marvel, decided like, you know what? Maybe we have a window where we could drop whatever movie we can drop. And that's why everything started having dates. Like Matrix was supposed to have a different date. They're just like, oh, we could drop Matrix too. Everybody started dropping everything they had. Even to the point, I believe, the Kingsman movie, like they're dropping that because,
that's out now.
They had it. They're like, hey, we need to drop it right now while we can make this money out of these movies.
Oh,
And
that's out
they
now?
just got really lucky with Spider-Man because it came right before the Omicron.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the fear. I think that was the fear of a lot of those big production companies, was that we fear that we may possibly go back into lockdown. So if we have this window of opportunity where people, yeah, it is, where we actually can have people at the box office, let's go ahead and take advantage. Take advantage, yeah, because we don't know when that opportunity may present itself again.
Yeah.
So that's why we're where we're at right now. But either way, I'm glad that they dropped what they dropped. I'm glad that we were able to see Spider-Man. I'm glad that we were able to see The Witcher. The Matrix, like I said, that dropped today. We're not going to talk about that today. But look, we're going to wrap the show up. I think we've been here long enough talking about all of this stuff. We're at that part of the show where we give everybody an opportunity to go ahead and talk. So, ATL, since you pulled up a little late, we're going to let you go first, girl. We're going to let you go ahead and tell the people where they can get at you.
Oh, get at me. You can find me on IG at it's Atlanta, ITS_Atlanta, ALAINTA. I'm also on YouTube at Atlanta, ALAINTA. Also find our new podcast, The Financial Griot, on all your podcast platforms. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And Vince, come on, man.
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for having me. Appreciate the platform. I'm at The Real Vince Taylor on all social networks, and on The New Blurred Order with somebody you may recognize from this show. We discuss all things nerdy, and stuff, which is on the YouTubes at New Blurred Order. All right. So yeah, IG, The Real Vince Taylor. Here it is right here. Follow, appreciate, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you and your families.
Thank you. And Vince, could you tell anybody where they can get one of those ugly ass pajama suits if they want to get one?
You don't like this? This is velour.
That's an ugly ass. That old ugly ass jersey, man. All right, listen, yo, fake ass Mr. T with all them chains, bitch. Ain't nobody worried about you. Out here trying to goddamn.
You tell somebody's jealous, like he wish he had it, like the entire time.
Because you a pimp named Slickback.
That's right, man.
You gotta
listen, go to Snooki.com.
This nigga literally says, "Come on with the ugly sweater," and then wants to roast me for being in some ugly shit. Like
snizzle out here.
Look, that ain't even a sweater, man. That's a Snooki, man. You got on a Snooki, bro.
I actually like it, man. I'm looking at it like, man, this is this fire set.
You're damn right. Like this shit is the collectible. You know what I'm saying? I'm the only one. Nobody else got this.
With
man.
the Spider-Man
antique.
tattoo, like it's on point, man. It's on
One of
point.
those.
Nigga, that's-
You know what I'm saying?
Nigga Stan Lee used to wear that shit.
Oh man, yeah. When he was born in Noah's Ark. I got you. Okay, I got you.
I'm fucking with you, man. Come on, Lawrence, man. Talk to the people, man.
Yo. Yeah, you can find me at the Neighborhood Finance Guy. My website, www.theneighborhoodfinanceguy. We talk about everything financial literacy related. So trying to get your money up. And ultimately, we also have the Financial Grill with the other host over here. But I think I'm actually the Beyonce. So I'm the important one of the group. And you can find us. You can find us at the Financial Grill on IG as well. So what's up? And thanks again for having us on here. And it was great to chat it up. I'm gonna follow some of these people because I actually like that onesie set. I'm just letting y'all know it's a fire set. Anybody that don't like it, just hate it. They just wish that they had it.
Word. And I want to throw the compliment back, man. I love this hat, and he keeps his Airbnb room really fresh. I don't know if he's supposed to do that or not, but it looks like he's in a model home in the hospital right now.
Model homeowner, the black and white.
Yo,
got the picture of the white.
Got to go sleep.
Oh man, this roast session, man. This is the roast session I've been waiting for, man. I appreciate it. Holly, talk to the people.
You can find me on So Please Understand. I'm coming back in January, taking my social media break, and then you can catch me at Holly_noon on Instagram and Facebook and all that good stuff. But again, we will be returning in January, Wednesdays at 6:30 on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, all that.
All that.
I'm sorry, Ty. I couldn't hear Holly over
like the plaques.
Yeah, I was gonna say I couldn't hear her over her degrees.
Professional. She's like, she read down the list of holidays because it's diversity and inclusion.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
I call it her wall of accolades.
Yeah, my wall of
accolades. The wall of accolades.
Yeah, you gotta mute your wall every time you talk.
I barely passed FSU, so I don't have that thing on my wall. I barely passed. I don't deserve it.
Look, we are very proud of the accomplishments of all of our Black women in the world. We celebrate them. We give them the two snaps up for all of their hard work.
Yeah. Watch the last episode of Insecure. We gotta support Issa Rae this Sunday on HBO.
That part, last episode, final episode for the series. That's it. We're finally putting the trash Lawrence's out on the street.
Whoa!
Shots fired.
That's what we're doing.
I live here. Oh my God.
Right now.
My neighbors might have heard this. Like, it's unnecessary.
Wow.
Shots fired.
Put that man
Shots
out with a
fired.
newborn baby.
My God. Hey, it's based off of my character, man. Straight up my character. I worked at Best Buy. I had the shirt.
He had the shirt. He had the shirt, man. Y'all a trip, man. Listen, I'm your host, Bad Top Bricks. Thank you to everybody for joining us another week here at the Multiverse. As Holly stated, we will be coming back in January with a fresh new season 3, brand new content. Tyrone Thornhill will be back with us. And again, let's shout out Tyrone because he's in New York right now, debuting at, I forgot what club he told me he was debuting out at. I'm sorry about that, Tyrone. Terrible friend I am. But he is debuting tonight in New York. So if you see a sign that says Tyrone Thornhill, please go and check him out. Funny guy. Much love to him. But again, thanks everybody for joining the Neighborhood Finance Guy, the real Vince Taylor, ATL, my co-host Holly Noon. Thanks everybody. We're gonna go ahead and let Bernie talk to you because he knows how to do it best, and then we'll get up out of here.
Boy, just be yourself. If people don't like it, if you're being yourself, fuck them. Let me tell you something. I used to go with a girl, man, about your age. I try to please her Peppy all the time. Went out my way to please her Peppy. I come in one day, I said, nice weather we have. Say, you can't say that. You can't say that, it might rain. I said, nice tie you got on. Say, you can't say that. My wife tried to choke me with it. Point I'm trying to tell you, son, is be yourself. People don't like how you be yourself. Fuck them. Fuck them up against the wall. Wear handcuffs on and crazy glue on their lips. That's all you do.
Words to live by.
You live by them, son.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the club now, Uncle Vester, and just go.
You go and enjoy yourself, boy.
Thanks everybody for joining us. Natasha Davis Cashmere, I love you, sis. Rest in peace.